When English merchants and travelers first started sailing beyond England's shores, especially to places like Russia or into the Mediterranean, places that were more remote from northwestern Europe, they brought a whole set of expectations that guided their behavior. And in some ways, the same rules applied almost regardless of whom the English encountered. One of the most basic rules that governed English ideas about encountering foreign people, whether in the Ottoman Empire, in Russia, or in the Spice Islands in the East Indies, was to trust no one. And that was a rule that could be applied generally. The English were reluctant to trust Dutch merchants. The Dutch were the closest ally of the English in Europe. They believed that because the English themselves were eager to take advantage of every opportunity that came their way, the English themselves were willing to deceive others and lie to get the position of advantage that they sought overseas. The English assumed that other people acted exactly the same way. So it's interesting when you think about just how different the people were that the English encountered, whether it was somebody like Powhatan, the powerful Indian chief of the Powhatan Confederacy in the area that we think of as Virginia, or the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. It didn't matter who those people were. The English brought some basic governing precepts, which was that you could not trust anybody, that it was important to find people skilled in languages to help you understand what foreigners wanted and expected, but at the same time you couldn't trust people who were skilled in languages because they might deceive you. And once you learned another language, there was a risk that you learned other ways of thinking and seeing the world and might adopt some of those other values, and thus your identity and attachment might shift. So it was a world that, if you think about the English who were actually encountering this world overseas, it was a world of great trepidation because you didn't know who you could trust, and the chances were you really couldn't trust anybody, even other English merchants who might be trying to pursue their own financial interest and also developing their own friendships with non-English people around the world. Those friendships could lead to family attachments, especially if an English man married a foreign woman or established a long-term sexual connection with her and had children. Suddenly his attachments could not be counted on.